Welcome to Ask Rich and Ed from Procurement Says No.
Woo.
We get a lot of listener questions, which we love to answer with insightful views and advice.
Ooh, nice.
Let's see what questions we've got this time, Ed.
Well, Rich, will they be insightful or inane or fatuous? Let's make it real.
Boom. Next one is from Bruce Timtam in Sydney, Australia. What's the worst part of being a consultant, Ed?
Jet lag.
Yeah, jet lag. I put travel. Yeah, can be the travel.
Stress as well, I think.
Can be very hard work, long hours, sudden urgent requirements, difficult clients.
I've worked on jobs where I've started at 7 a.m. and finished at midnight and gone back to the hotel, gone to bed, then got back up, had breakfast, and then gone back to work. When you're 30, you can sort of live with it. I think as you get older, I think that gets very, very hard. And I think the same with jet lag. I had a thing where I was going backwards and forwards because I had a young family. I was working in the States. I came home each weekend.
Yeah.
So I'd fly back on Friday night, arrive Saturday morning, and on Monday morning I'd fly out and then work.
It's a killer.
Yeah, it's a killer. You start to not know what day it is. You lose the ability to speak.
Which is kind of where you still are, isn't it?
I think the other one is there's some situations you get put into which I think are incredibly stressful. It's a matter of how thick your skin is and how you can deal with that level of stress. So sometimes you go in a situation, you could be running a workshop with a bunch of very senior people in a foreign country. I worked with Fiat. I ran these workshops. There was simultaneous translation. I had the top people in the room and I'm telling them where their business was weak. Daunting.
Yes.
And it's in a different culture, and they had a Senate style, so a little bit like the Roman Forum, lots and lots of debate. I had no real experience of Italy and the thinking and how they played out, and you just have to sort of react on the wing sort of thing, and very tiring, I think.
Yeah, and some clients are excellent, and you learn a lot, and some clients terrible, or they're full of indecisive people. Yeah.
Or they're out to get there after you. I've had it where you've been presenting and you get somebody who's just very, very awkward.
Yeah. Just not buying into something, yeah. And it's kind of, well, we're just here to help the change.
But they go after you because there's a sort of ego thing going on. It's like, well, you're a consultant, you must be really good and you must think you're better than me and whatever. And you get that whole human dimension.
I remember PwC where there was two teams were created. There was a restructuring of PwC when Ed and I were there, and they created, was it the international team and the bin bag? Do you remember the bin bag? And the international team was full of all the FTSE 100 and global organisations, and the bin bag was small local businesses. Ed and I, of course, were put into the international team.
Yes, yeah. The other challenge, just one of the things with consultancy, work-life balance. When you join from industry, you're like 28, 29, 30, 31. Typically, that's when you're probably in a relationship. You might have kids, you might have young kids, all that sort of stuff. And then you're getting on a plane on Sunday night to fly off somewhere.
Yeah.
How that affects your family, your relationship.
Can be tricky.
Your health, all that stuff.
Yeah. So question 6. When bidding out a consultancy program, how would you advise I do this? And this is from Jonas de Gesif from Paris in France.
Consultancy, they're going to come back at you and they're going to tell you how it's going to be. They're going to push their terms and conditions on you and say there's no other path because they're Borg and they're massive, as we talked about on previous podcasts.
You will sign our terms and conditions.
So I've seen terms and conditions from big strategy house that are like one page, all benefiting them. When you go out to tender, you need to describe exactly what you want and the outcomes you desire. And you need to be very clear about the time period when it's got to hit the P&L. And you need to tender your terms and conditions as well.
Yeah.
So you should have a contract for consultancy or professional services, and you should be tendering that, and you should put that up front. Because generally speaking, the way that people buy consultancy is they bring some consultants in, and they sort of a bit lazy really, and let the consultancy do all the running.
Yeah. And they'll come in and they say, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want, but I have a very particular set of skills I have acquired over a long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
Nice. I'm just going to say one thing that consultancies are really good at, because you're told to do it, is they'll go over your head.
Yeah.
And they'll go to the top. And the expectation from the leadership in the consultancy when somebody's selling to a prospect is that the person selling will have spoken to the CEO of the organisation.
Yes, and we'll come on to that in another question later on.
Yeah, so you need to do as much as you can to manage matters, and you need to talk to the people above you when you're going out to market and explain what will happen. This is from Johnny Jaffa in Dubai. We are running a change program in HR. How do we measure the value add from a consultancy program? So this is a good question, because this is anything that sort of doesn't have a financial outcome. If you're doing something in finance or something in procurement, you think of outcomes, don't you? Think 10 million whatever a year. But what about when it's a softer area where it's more difficult to evaluate?
Right. Well, as you say, I think it's about really having clarity, aren't you, of your objectives and clear goals and clear deliverables and outcomes and clear accountabilities. Don't give the consultants get outs for not getting their stuff done. Check their proposals for caveats. As you said earlier, they will be full of caveats. If we don't get access to this data, if we don't get access to these stakeholders, blah, 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 and ensure you deal with them one by one, I guess. But payment only on delivery of clear milestones and deliverables, not just time and materials. That's a killer. Make sure you have clarity on, you know, who the team is and the consultants you're bringing in, and you know what they're all supposed to be doing, what their roles and responsibilities are, because they will just sneak people in. And also watch particularly for very, very high cost partners and senior directors who are going to quality check the work and show up every few weeks to put a bit of time on the clock. Make sure that they are actually delivering. So whether that's talking to your board or mentoring or advisory, not just putting time on the clock.
If you've got deliverables, let's get them to be monthly deliverables or weekly deliverables, and then set up the governance process and rigorously attend steering groups or review meetings with the consultancy. Good discipline. Every week you have a written report on a Friday, exactly what's been achieved, plus any blockages, because you need to be debating that. Perhaps have a call weekly, nice and crisp, 30 minutes, just like, what are you doing? What's happening? What's good? What's bad? What do we need help with? And then a monthly steering group of some sort. And you hold them to account against the statement of work or however it's been described.
Yeah, to keep tabs on it.
When you're contracting with that consultancy, be very clear about how the change process in the contract works. So they need some more resource, or we've given them a harder thing to do, or something's changed. You need to be very clear about what the mechanism is for adding more cost to the program and how the approval process works for that. Because often it's very unclear. People like to leave that sort of stuff.
Change approval notices and stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's it. All answered beautifully.
Oh, perfect.
We will see you all again for more next time.
Super duper.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye,
Bye.
bye, bye, bye,
Bye.
bye, bye, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.